Okay, so this is a little mic check. As you can hear, I'm standing back about 12 feet probably away from the speaker. I've got the gain on the mic in the back about halfway. So as you can hear, it's very clear. There's no echo, no kind of static, no humming, no interference. So the microphone jack works well. Sometimes you get with some speakers, the cheaper ones, you'll have like kind of an echoey sound. You don't get that with this speaker. Sounds perfectly clear, and I'm just using a fairly inexpensive microphone. Nothing fancy for sure. So that gives you an idea of what the microphone sounds like. I would definitely say thumbs up for the mic quality. So let's do a little light check. I'll show you the light modes. We'll go through those. And I'll also run the speaker at 40%. In a custom EQ, I'm running through the app that I'm using. And you'll get to hear what that sounds like off axis also. So let's go to that. Okay, so like I said, we'll run through the light modes, and I will run this at 40% with the song, so that way you can hear what it sounds like with a custom EQ. And then the custom EQ is what I'm using is through the Power Amp, which is a MP3 app that you can get on Android. It's probably available on Apple also, I would assume. But we're going to run through that, the light modes, and I'm going to have this at 40% volume. So I'll go ahead and start the volume now, or start the audio. Pretty thumpy. That's just at 40%. So that's pretty good. All right. So this is the strobe light mode we're on right now. And you can change the colors from the speaker itself. This one is called gradation or gradation. Doesn't really do a whole lot. This is chill. Rave light mode. This is one I usually pick most of the time. This is delightful. They could have picked a better name than that. It's also more just a mode that just does its own thing. Back to strobe. I'm not quite sure why it's staying all red. Usually it's white. So of the two, strobe and that's rave. My personal favorite. You can hear this thing at 40%. We're off axis. We're up a little bit, elevated a little bit above the speaker. If you set this thing right, it sounds pretty darn good. It's very thumpy. And if you manipulate the upper mids and the highs, it has a pretty decent clarity to it if you get it right. But the mega bass mode is a no dice. I wouldn't recommend that. I tend to use a third-party EQ. If I'm using that app, I usually always manipulate the EQ to a certain degree with almost every speaker within Power Amp. I almost never just leave a speaker the way it is. I always kind of set it in Power Amp how I like it. And some of them you have to make pretty massive adjustments. This one,
you don't have to make that big adjustments, but you just have to make certain adjustments to the upper mids, the highs, and I bumped the bass up a little bit. And as you can, I don't know, hopefully you can hear what it sounds like. It sounds pretty good. Like I said, if you listen to this thing on its own, not next to the Party Box 710, it's loud, it has solid bass, and like I said, you can make it sound good in the upper range. Just takes a little bit of manipulation. So that's a wrap for the light show and the mic check. Let me know what you guys think. I still like the lights better on the Party Box 710. There's a lot more going on. But this is kind of a different, when you get the lights off like this, it does a pretty good job. That's a wrap, guys.